Well, first of all, Jenna, if this is your way of asking me if I'm coming off my Suns picking the West, no. I'm sticking with the Phoenix Suns. However, Golden State is a scary team. They are a very good team when healthy. I don't think any of us have doubted that if they get healthy, they're going to be dangerous. They got Memphis most likely if they get by Minnesota in the second round, and that's not going to be easy. But I do like the Warriors. Steph obviously isn't himself yet, but with Jordan Poole stepping up, then they can beat Denver without a fully healthy Steph, and then Poole and Clay and Wiggins and these guys can kind of carry him with Steph, contributing what he can. And then by the second round, he should be ready to go, or maybe even later in this first round, go full bore. But Jordan Poole is legit. He made his way onto my most improved player ballot. You get three guys. He wasn't number one. I went with Tyrese Maxey in Philadelphia. But Poole is the truth. He averaged 18.5 points this year. What you saw, he's not a 30-point scorer, but what you saw was not something that he can't do again. He's got range. He's got handle to create space whenever he needs to. He's legit. Exactly. And here's the other thing, Nick. Klay Thompson began, I don't know if people noticed, his last 3 games of the regular season, he began to round into shape. Averaged 36 points on 50% shooting, 50+% shooting from both the field and three. So they're rounding into form. They're going to be a tough out, no doubt.
Listen, the Warriors looked great, and Jordan Poole is one of the best stories. I don't even think he made the finalists for most improved player, which is ridiculous. So applaud you, Broussard, for at least having him on the ballot. But Wildes, I feel like there's an elephant in the room, and, I guess I'll be the one to point it out. Did it look like the best player in the league was in that game? Just did it? I'm just curious. Did it look like one of the most dominant players in NBA history? A guy who was about to become just the 13th player ever to win back-to-back MVPs. Did it look like he was playing? Because he was, but was he? And this is where the Jokić truthers are just snakes eating their tails. It's like, you expect Jokić to be able to carry a team, his team past Golden State? No, I don't. Well, then how can you blame him? Well, because you shouldn't be playing Golden State in the first round if you have the league MVP. Well, it's his fault they're the 6th seed. I don't know. Here's what I know. Every MVP we've ever had, except for Russ in 2017, which while Broussard stands by the vote, I think was a bad vote, was expected to get out of round 1. And no one expects the Nuggets to get out of round 1. And everyone's like, no, but it's fine. He has to win MVP. No, he didn't. And let me show you. I got something to show you just real quick, Wildes. I just want to show you something real quick. Because, again, Jokić is back-to-back MVP about to be. Here we go. What do all of this collection of people have in common? Is that Tobias Harris? Is that Jonas Valanciunas? Oh, my, there's Duncan Robinson and Jason Tatum and some stars. Chris Paul. What do they all have in common? Reveal, please. Those are, a short list of people that were better than the best player in basketball. One of the best players we've ever seen.
According to Nick.
Well, there's what metric do you want me to use?
Nick.
What metric do you want me to use?
They were better than Kevin Durant,
you tell me anyone you
They were better than Kevin Durant.
What?
They were better than Kevin Durant, too.
They were better than Kevin Durant, too.
What? So what's that mean?
I'm sorry. What it means is I would like Wildes for the back-to-back MVP to not be on a 5-game playoff losing streak. I'd like that. Is that okay? Is that allowed? Or is that holding Jokić, who I'm told is prime Larry Bird, is that holding him to too high of a standard?
Okay. He had 25 and 10. What can he do for you to get off of his back? Does he have to score 40 points?
Win.
LeBron didn't have AD for 40 games. Like, well, of course they can't make the playoffs. No, you don't have Anthony Davis for 40 games. Poor Joker hasn't had Jamal Murray the entire year. Carries Denver to the playoffs, and then they lose to a dynasty that's being reborn.
That's fine.
And you're mad at the poor guy.
No, I just don't want him to be the MVP, and he's going to be. And Wildes, again, Broussard, Wildes wants to debate someone so badly that thinks LeBron was the MVP. But that person doesn't exist. So he keeps comparing him to LeBron. LeBron's not going to get a single MVP vote.
This is a LeBron story.
Drew, Jokic is going to run away with it. Am I holding Jokic to an unfair standard, or am I holding Jokic, Broussard, to the standard every MVP's been held to? That's the question.
You're holding him to too high of a standard. You really are. First of all, Nick, it is a regular season award. It's a regular season award, okay? And Jokic, and you know, look, I didn't vote for him. He wasn't my runner-up. He was third on my ballot. So I hear you. I don't think he should have been MVP.
And I respect that.
But to sit here and rip him as if he's not worthy, Steve Nash won 2 MVPs, and guess what? Nikola Jokic is better than Steve Nash was. He is. All right, and I'll defend that. All right. Jokic had, as Wild said, 25, 10, and 6 assists. He had his only other teammate that scored more than 10 points was Will Barton, and Barton scored 14 of them in the fourth quarter when it was over. All right, garbage time. So he, in a 7-game series against a 3-time champion that is still a very good team, he's supposed to beat them with a bunch of role players? You can win some regular season games with a bunch of role players. Bro. But when the opponent has several days to prepare for you and no one else, they're going to shut those dudes down. That's why none of them got more than 10 points outside of Barton. And so I'm just saying you're going too hard on Jokic because you don't want him to be a back-to-back MVP.
No, I'm not going too hard.
Like I told you what happened to Moses.
I agree.
What I tell you,
been...
Moses' first 2 MVPs. He went out in the first round both years.
Brew, in between those first 2 MVPs for Moses, he carried a team to the NBA Finals. You and I both know that. And his 3rd MVP year,
how
he
far
won the
did
championship.
Jokic go?
But just wait. No,
has Jokic been one round below?
Second.
Right? Jokic did get to a conference final.
Yes,
you can't
he lost
throw that
in 5
out there
in the conference finals.
Okay.
Yes, he did, Brew. But here is the point. You are right. It is a regular season award. But the reason that I am using this game as an indictment is because they didn't draw the Warriors because they drew names out of a hat. They drew the Warriors because in the regular season they were the 6th seed. And somehow the Jokic denialists are going to act like it is random happenstance that they are underdogs in round 1. Just find me, again, Jokic truthers, find me the last league MVP not named Russell Westbrook to be an underdog in round 1 of the playoffs. And then what you can tell me is this. We've always gotten the MVP thing wrong. Because the way we've done the MVP, Brew, for 50 years has rewarded the greatest players in the history of the sport.
Right.
And now we're changing it. And even those Nash years, you know what the Suns did? They went to back-to-back conference finals. They won 56 and 62 games, and they were legit title contenders.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.